Across the rugged, mist-shrouded hills and the storm-lashed coastlines of Scotland, a peculiar and enduring mystery stands etched not just in ancient stone, but in glass. Scattered throughout the Highlands and the lowlands are the ruins of Iron Age hill forts, formidable strongholds once built by Celtic tribes. But these are no ordinary ruins. Their massive stone walls, instead of being held together by conventional mortar, timber frames, or simple dry stone techniques, have been utterly or seemingly impossibly transformed. They are fused, melted, and vitrified into a solid, glassy matrix, a silent testament to an ancient inferno of unimaginable intensity. How did these prehistoric builders, using what we believe were rudimentary tools and primitive fuels, achieve and sustain temperatures exceeding 1,100 degrees Celsius, a feat of pyrotechnology that rivals the output of modern industrial furnaces? This is the profound fiery enigma of the Vitreous forts of Scotland. And their secrets don't just challenge our understanding of prehistoric engineering, they threaten to rewrite the very timeline of human technological capability. This is a glitch in the very fabric of our reality. This isn't just a ruin, it's a crucible of questions forged in fire and frozen in time, a level of technology that simply shouldn't exist. This is the stone that was fused by the gods, a level of technology that shouldn't exist, a level of technology that shouldn't exist. This is the glass that was meant to be forever, a level of technology that shouldn't exist, a level of technology that shouldn't exist. For over 250 years, these strange, glassy ramparts have puzzled antiquarians, baffled professional archaeologists, and ignited the imaginations of those who dare to look beyond conventional historical explanations. Sites like Noth, the highest and perhaps most impressive vitrified fort in Scotland, Dunlagade, perched dramatically above a dark sea loch. Noth and Craig Phadrig, overlooking the modern city of Inverness, all showcase walls where granite, gneiss, and sandstone, some of the hardest and most common stones in the region, have been subjected to such intense, focused, and sustained heat that their constituent minerals have actually reached their melting points. They have flowed like molten lava, filled the gaps between stones, and then solidified into a dark, glassy slag that is harder and more durable than the original rock. This isn't the result of an accidental fire, a lightning strike, or a simple bonfire. This is a deliberate, controlled, and monumental industrial process executed on a scale that defies everything we thought we knew about Iron Age capabilities. But for what purpose? And by what seemingly impossible means was this achieved? It suggests a pre-Edison industrial capability, a level of manufacturing we thought impossible for the time, a world where the laws of nature were written differently, a world where the laws of nature were written differently. To achieve vitrification, the literal transformation of solid stone into glass, temperatures must reach an astonishing range, typically between 1,000 and 1,200 degrees Celsius. Crucially, these temperatures must be sustained for prolonged periods, often for days or even weeks, to allow the heat to penetrate deep into the core of a massive, multi-meter thick stone wall. To put that into perspective, this is hot enough to melt many common metals, including copper, silver, and bronze, and is well within the operating range of modern industrial kilns and high-tech glass furnaces. Yet, these Iron Age builders, operating in a world of wood, stone, and early iron, somehow managed to turn solid mountain rock into molten glass. The sheer scale of the operation, involving the heating of thousands of tons of stone, and the pyrotechnical expertise required to maintain such a uniform effect across hundreds of meters of ramparts, seems utterly out of place for the period. This isn't just a fire, it's a controlled inferno, a lost mastery of the very elements, masters of the invisible world, turning the power of the universe into a tool for humanity, Conventional archaeological explanations have struggled, often desperately, to account for this phenomenon. One of the most common and persistent theories suggests that the vitrification was an accidental byproduct of warfare. The idea is that an attacking force might have set fire to the wooden palisades, timber-laced walls, or internal structures built against the stone ramparts. The resulting massive fire, fueled by dry wood and perhaps even animal fats or stored grain, would have accidentally melted the stone. However, numerous modern experiments conducted by experimental archaeologists and pyrotechnicians using traditional materials have consistently shown that open-air fires, even very large ones, rarely generate enough sustained, concentrated heat to vitrify stone on this monumental scale. Furthermore, the vitrification in these forts is often found deep within the wall structure, in areas where a surface fire could never reach. And it is remarkably uniform, suggesting a far more controlled and deliberate process than the chaotic, localized heat of a siege fire. This isn't just a byproduct of destruction, it's a product of construction, suggesting a cycle of achievement that has happened before, a cycle of achievement that has happened before, a cycle of achievement that has happened before. It was intentional. They are the glitch in the art historical matrix. This leads to a far more compelling yet technologically challenging theory that the vitrification was a deliberate and highly advanced construction technique. Perhaps it was intended to strengthen the walls, transforming a pile of loose stones into an incredibly strong monolithic, and almost impenetrable glassy matrix. A vitrified wall would be far more resistant to battering rams, to the undermining of foundations, and to the relentless weathering of the harsh Scottish climate. It would be the Iron Age equivalent of reinforced concrete. But if this was indeed the case, if this was such an effective and revolutionary building method, then why are there only about 60 such forts in Scotland, if a few others scattered across Europe? And why did the technique seemingly disappear from the archaeological record as abruptly as it appeared, leaving no other trace of its use in later centuries? The specialized knowledge required to build and control such massive, high-temperature wall furnaces would have been a closely guarded secret, a peak of ancient science that vanished with its practitioners, a world where the laws of nature were written differently, a world where the laws of nature were written differently. The search for the how leads us down several intriguing, albeit speculative paths that challenge our assumptions about ancient resourcefulness. Could the Iron Age Scots have possessed a specialized knowledge of fuels, perhaps utilizing specific types of wood, concentrated peat charcoal, or even early forms of coal that burned at exceptionally high temperatures? Or did they employ sophisticated hidden air circulation systems, massive stone-built bellows or draft tunnels, to intensify and direct the heat, effectively turning the entire fort into a forced Dutch draft furnace on an unprecedented scale? Some researchers even speculate about the use of chemical fluxes, naturally occurring minerals that, when added to the fire, could lower the melting point of the granite or enhance the combustion process. Or, most intriguingly, did they possess a lost understanding of geological and mineral properties, a forgotten science of lithic pyrotechnology that allowed them to manipulate the very molecular structure of stone? The frustrating lack of clear, definitive evidence for any of these methods only deepens the mystery, transforming it from a simple archaeological puzzle into a profound question about the true limits of ancient human knowledge, turning the power of the universe into a tool for humanity. The proof that we don't know who we are. Masters of the invisible world. Masters of the invisible world. Consider for a moment the sheer overwhelming logistics involved in such an undertaking. To vitrify a single large fort like Noth, with its extensive ramparts, would have required an astronomical amount of fuel, hundreds, if not thousands, of tons of wood and charcoal. This would have necessitated a massive coordinated effort to fell forests, transport the fuel up steep hillsides, and then carefully layer it within the stone walls. The environmental impact alone would have been immense, leaving a clear archaeological signature of deforestation that is largely absent. Furthermore, the construction of such a wall furnace would have required a deep understanding of thermodynamics, airflow, and material science, knowledge that we typically attribute to much later periods of human history. This wasn't just brute force, it was applied science on a monumental scale, a level of industrial organization that seems utterly out of place for the Iron Age. They were essentially standardizing fire, turning the raw power of combustion into a precision engineering tool, a level of technology that shouldn't exist, a level of technology that shouldn't exist. Beyond the practicalities, the Vitreous forts raise profound questions about the nature of ancient knowledge transmission. Was this a localized innovation developed independently in Scotland, or was it part of a wider, perhaps global, network of advanced metallurgical or pyrotechnical understanding? The presence of similar, albeit less numerous, vitrified sites in other parts of Europe, such as France and Germany, suggests a possible shared knowledge base, or at least parallel developments. However, the Scottish examples remain the most extensive and well-preserved, making them the primary focus of this enduring enigma. The disappearance of this technology is as perplexing as its existence. Did the knowledge die with its practitioners? Was it deliberately suppressed or forgotten during periods of societal upheaval? Or was it simply deemed too resource-intensive or dangerous to continue? The answers remain elusive, adding another layer to the mystery of these fiery fortresses. Some radical theories even propose that the vitrification was not achieved through conventional combustion at all, but through a more exotic, lost energy source. Could ancient builders have harnessed a form of geothermal energy, or perhaps even a localized controlled plasma discharge? While these ideas venture into the realm of pure speculation, they highlight the desperation of modern science to explain a phenomenon that simply doesn't fit into our established historical framework. The Vitreous forts force us to consider that our understanding of ancient energy sources and their applications might be severely limited, and that the past may hold secrets to manipulating matter and energy that we are only just beginning to conceptualize. The Vitreous forts of Scotland are more than just ancient ruins. They are a profound challenge to our understanding of prehistoric capabilities and a tantalizing glimpse into a lost world of high technology. They force us to confront the possibility that our ancestors were not primitive, but possessed a scientific and engineering prowess that we are only now beginning to rediscover. The scale, the precision, and the sheer impossibility of these glassy walls demand a reevaluation of our historical narrative. What other secrets lie hidden in the rugged landscapes of our past, waiting to be unearthed and to rewrite our entire understanding of human ingenuity? The Vitreous forts whisper of a past far more complex, far more technologically rich, and infinitely more mysterious than we ever dared to imagine. The glass is silent, but its message is loud and clear. The impossible is often just a reality we haven't yet learned to comprehend. Next, we journey to the heart of India, to a monument that has defied the ravages of time and the corrosive power of nature for over 1,600 years. We will explore the mystery of the Delhi Iron Pillar, a colossal iron column that refuses to rust, suggesting advanced metallurgical secrets that predate modern science by millennia. How did ancient Indian craftsmen achieve such an impossible feat of corrosion resistance? Join us as we uncover the secrets of a lost technology that mastered metal with a purity that still baffles us today. You won't want to miss it. The past holds secrets that redefine our understanding of the future. This is where history meets high technology.